I'm Chief Cheryl Victorian. This is Waco PD on the beat. Whether it's crime or just getting to know the Waco Police Department, we're here to talk about things that matter most to you.
Hello, Waco, and welcome to Waco PD on the beat. I'm Sierra Shipley, the Public Information Officer for the Waco Police Department.
And I'm Officer A.J. Smith, the Crime Stoppers Coordinator for McLennan County.
And we are here to talk about, I'm calling this our biannual recording here because it's about fireworks safety. We have Chief Summers here. We had a recording like this at the end of last year, right before New Year's, to talk about fireworks safety and the importance of all that. I know people get really excited for this holiday, but we have a great celebration that we have in the city that we put on every year, so you guys don't have to go out and, have your own fireworks fun, because it's illegal.
Well, it's dangerous.
Yes. Well, Chief Summers, thank you so much for joining us here today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And now, how important is it, right off the bat, people just practice proper fireworks safety?
It's extremely important. I think you guys touched on it initially when you talked about it's illegal. So we really need to take that into consideration seriously. And I know there are going to be a lot of people that say, well, it's the 4th of July. We want to celebrate. We want to get our own fireworks. But there are some enforcement issues in areas that you need to be concerned about.
Sure, absolutely. And I think people get confused, too, because those fireworks stands, they're close to the city limits, but they technically are outside the city limits where you are buying those fireworks. And so it confuses people sometimes because you see them so close to the area.
And there's probably a reason they're not in the city limits, I would imagine.
It's like that around the country, too. Mm-hmm. The county areas, the unincorporated areas are more likely to have the fireworks stands as opposed to being inside the city. But the county, McLennan County, has put a ban on skyrockets or bottle rockets. So they can't sell, manufacture, or use those at all.
That's great.
Yeah, so people need to realize that, and I think that's one of the popular fireworks that they utilize is the skyrockets or bottle rockets.
Sure.
And they're not going to be allowed this year to even be sold.
Yeah. And we're going to have special enforcement, at least for us on the police department side, for officers to be out there going out just for those firework calls to try and minimize that. Is there anything that the fire department's going to be doing for that night?
The fire and police are working in conjunction. Our fire marshals will be working with officers and doing some of the same things, enforcement areas that you guys will be doing as well.
Okay, very good. How now this is I'm sure as far as ramped up as it has been the past two events, how important is it for the fire department and police department to work together on times like this?
It's extremely important that we work together. I mean, we're both in the same 911 center. You get your police dispatch, we get our fire dispatch, so some of those calls are going to be very similar. So we need to be able to communicate. I think that's important.
So I guess this is mostly about the city, but, I mean, countywide, and even out in the other counties, there's got to be burn bans. I know from a safety standpoint,
it's been dry.
You've got we haven't had any rain in a while.
Right. It's a drought right now, and that's why the county imposed this ban on the bottle rockets and skyrockets. They're going to meet again on this Tuesday to determine if they're going to issue a ban burn. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had a ban burn going into the 4th of July as well.
Right. Yeah. Right. Something that people have to take in consideration for, especially, I mean, I know I've seen that video. It's a Christmas tree in the house that lights on fire and catches fire, but just to watch that video and any sense of when a fire happens, I mean, they spread so quickly.
It does not take long at all. You're absolutely right. It does not, and that's one of the reasons why bottle rockets have been one of the main issues every time that you got, whether it's the 4th of July or New Year's Eve. So that's why I'm glad that the county did ban the use and the sale of those.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And like I said, we've got our 4th on the Brazos, which is a great event that now I did not realize that we still have it on 4th of July, the actual date, even though 4th of July is going to be on a Sunday. Is that right?
No, the 4th of July is on a Monday.
So is 4th of July on a Monday this year?
Yeah. So the event is...
I got to look at a calendar.
Are you not having to work it?
I got to look at a calendar.
Yeah, but it's nine. It's the firework display is at 9:15 at Touchdown Alley next to McLean Stadium on the campus of Baylor University. What I really like about this year's event is that they've got the R&B group, the Commodores, will be performing at 7:15.
What?
I mean, at 7:30.
No.
Yeah, so
The Commodores?
The Commodores.
Like a big name
Stop.
event.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you the name of a single artist that's been at one of those events. No, like
Oh, I thought you were
knock
going to say.
them, but
I thought you were about to say that you couldn't name a single artist in the Commodores.
no, well, I don't know their name specifically, but I know
Lionel
of the
Richie.
Commodores. Oh, really?
Formal.
He's former.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he won't be there, but
Yeah.
still a big name.
But he's my favorite.
It's a big name group. It's going to be huge.
That's
Gates
awesome.
open at 6 p.m.
Okay.
And it's sponsored by HEB and, like you mentioned earlier, the City of Waco. And most importantly, it's free.
That's right. That's right. So fireworks 9:15 at Touchdown Alley, and that's just one way. So, okay, so that's happening on Monday night.
That's happening on Monday night.
Man, are we sure 4th of July is on Sunday this
Well,
year?
you know, they start selling fireworks probably 3 to 4 weeks out in some locations.
Okay.
So people start shooting fireworks on the eve of 4th of July, or maybe even earlier than that.
Sure.
So we're going to be out enforcing with PD to make sure that people are safe.
Kind of throughout that whole weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that we can't stop fireworks from being discharged in the city of Waco. We would love to, but that's not going to happen. You can look at your data from the previous years; it just doesn't happen.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think there's been including now with New Year's that just passed, at least over 300 calls in the last 3 years for fireworks.
And that's just the calls that have been documented. That's not the people that have been annoyed or out there doing it, not calling it in. And
Sure, absolutely, yeah. And I just want to say to those people who may be wanting to shoot some fireworks, there's a lot of different alternatives. You can have the sparklers and kind of those smaller type things like that. But just be mindful of your neighbors, of course, pets and veterans. This is kind of a big time where they both have a little bit of distress that comes with those loud noises.
yeah,
Absolutely.
heck, my thoughts are, if you want to spend money on something that goes up in an explosion, buy some gas. It's expensive right now.
Oh,
Let's not encourage that. Okay?
yeah, maybe,
No. I'm
maybe
saying
not.
like purchase gas for your vehicle because within the
oh,
confinement of the engine, it
okay,
does
I
go
got
bang.
you.
And gas is so expensive. Fireworks are expensive. Like,
Right, you might as well. No, they're doing
very big disclaimer. That was for your
Yeah.
vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm not,
Vehicle only.
I am
Wrong
not
way, yeah.
advocating for the unsafe use of gasoline as a combustible material for
Say
a
that
fire.
one more time. You're not advocating.
I am absolutely not advocating to be unsafe with a flammable material.
Yes, just put gasoline in your car
That was
and leave the fireworks to the professionals.
Yeah.
Yes, I paid a lot of money for gas the other day, so I'm encouraging you to spend it on gas to go to work instead of fireworks that could potentially prohibit you from going to work because you lose a finger.
Sure, exactly.
'Cause they're dangerous.
Exactly, yeah.
Or you pay more for the violation.
That's true. It's probably a hefty fine.
There is a fine for that. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I think it's like, I don't want to guess, but my brain is shouting between 500 and like
Here.
1,000. Look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah, look it up for us.
Google.
Yes,
Yeah.
Google. love me some Google. Well, Chief Summers, tell us just, some of the dangers that people might not think of when if they're going to be using those fireworks.
Well, you have duds, and you think that the fuse has stopped burning. Then you go back to relight it, and it's still burning, and you could lose an eye or anything. And sometimes we think it's fun to play with firecrackers and throw them at each other. That's dangerous. So you need to be real careful. You have a lot of instances where people are going to the hospital on the 4th of July or days leading up to the 4th of July for improper use of fireworks. So we need to be extra careful. Most importantly, for me, is recognize that we do have a commercial display. Take advantage of that.
Yes.
Take advantage.
And it's a great show.
It's a great show, and I've seen last year. You've got vehicles lined up all on Highway 77. Just looking at the.
That's
fireworks,
awesome.
So it's people do take advantage of it. I just want those that are dead set on using fireworks. Hopefully you don't get caught, because it is a violation.
And we'll get you.
And we will fine you for it. But be careful. Be extra careful.
Absolutely. What's the fine, AJ?
So there's 4 different offenses relating to fireworks within the city of Waco. There is one for possession of fireworks within 5,000 feet. It's a $258 fine right now. Fireworks, if you aid a minor to possess them within 5,000 feet of the city, is $313. If you possess, sell, give away, or use them in the city limits, it's $258. And then if you let a minor do the same, it's $313. So basically, if you're letting a child play with fireworks, it's going to cost you $313 at least. And then if you're messing with fireworks, $258.
Basically, if someone's
$300.
Right. And I'm sure in some sense or another, those fines get tacked onto each other because
if
there's
you've got,
more than one offense
Right,
happening at the same
exactly.
time.
If you've got like 6 kids and you're letting all of them shoot off fireworks, there's 6 offenses.
Right. So that could be pretty
Plus
hefty.
Plus,
That's
you're
like a whole
possessing
tank
them,
of
so-
gas, like you said.
Yeah.
And in this
At least.
climate,
Yeah.
we don't need to be paying any additional fees.
Right.
If you want to buy something, go to the grocery store. Buy some
Exactly.
food because it's extremely expensive, guys. I mean,
Oh yeah.
you go into the grocery store today and you get 6 items and you spend $45. And you're like, what did I buy? I've got 1 bag. And yet we want to go out and spend money on fireworks. We got a free commercial display.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Take advantage of it.
And it's more than just the fireworks because they open up, they let people come in, they've got vendors, they've got food trucks, they've
Right.
got,
We got the Commodores.
the Commodores this year. It's just a good time. Like the earlier you get there, the more you're able to enjoy it, the better seats you're able to get.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the fireworks show you said starts at 9:15. Do we know when the doors open for that event?
At 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Okay. Very good. So full night of fun.
Full night of fun. It's gonna be awesome.
Very good.
And it's safe.
It's very safe.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of police officers there. I will be there.
Very good.
Might even sign an autograph or 2.
Sign an autograph. Take a few selfies.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
You will see me in my red, white, and blue American flag sunglasses
I
that are
like
within
it.
department policy.
Okay, I'm
Very-
glad you say glasses because I automatically visualize an outfit.
I did too.
I would if I
really
could.
did too. I thought you were going
Absolutely
to
would
say
if I
like
could.
red, white, and blue uniform, and I said, didn't know we could do that.
We can't, but I was kind of
You have
tempted
on
to
red,
get.
white, and blue.
I do, yeah. I got a little bit of red, white, and blue today.
I saw an American flag cowboy hat, and I really wanted to get it, but I was like, technically we're not supposed to, but it's the 4th of July. I don't know, maybe forgiveness instead of permission on that one. So
Yeah, maybe just stick with the sunglasses.
come see if I'm wearing an American
cap-
flag hat.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
I might be.
Well, Chief Summers, in the between 4th of July and New Year's, have we had any major fires or issues because of civilians messing with fireworks?
No, we've not experienced any that I can recall off the top of my head. But normally when we do, it's probably this time of the year during the 4th of July. So our crews will be out patrolling, and then we just want to be safe. We just want people to be safe.
Right.
It's like you just illustrated on a Christmas tree fire. Just imagine, if you live in a mobile home community,
Absolutely.
talking about 3 to 5 minutes. So we have to be extremely safe.
Right. And I think we can all assume that most of us are amateurs when it comes to setting off fireworks. So it's hard to even navigate where that firework is going to go.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You got the Roman candles, and I've seen people take the Roman candles, you light it, and it's got like 10 shots in it. And I've seen people point at it.
Oh, my goodness.
It's just dangerous.
Yeah.
So we need to be careful.
I'm even afraid to hold a sparkler sometimes.
I am
I'm like,
too.
it's getting real close to my hand. So
I
just,
like the little bitty, what you call a little
the
poppet.
poppers that you can
Yeah,
throw down.
yeah.
So I don't know if you guys knew this, but you can put those underneath a surface, and when it gets compressed, it also pops. So if you ever want to get your significant other on, like, I don't know, April Fools, you can put them underneath the toilet seat, and when they sit down on the toilet, it goes pop, 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 pop.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh.
Ask my mom about that one. It also, it doesn't take much for them to pop. So, like, if you can sneak into the house, put them across the door or the door frame, when they open the door, they fall, pop, 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 and then you You go out the back door, so you're not disturbing the door they go in.
That's terrifying.
Those are so much more fun,
That's
and you don't
when-
have to worry about starting a fire.
That sounds like a firefighter joke or something, or a prank or something.
You're gonna have poppet little debris all over the fire stations in town now.
I was gonna say he might use that trick on a few of
Just
them.
start going into the fire stations, checking the toilets. Oh, I'm just checking the plumbing, guys. It's safe.
Oh my. Well, do you know of any besides? I know we have the 4th on the Brazos. There's not any other events that usually go on that time of year with fireworks.
This is probably the biggest one, and if there are, you might have some homeowner associations might do something on a smaller scale.
Oh, okay.
I've seen that happen here in Waco as well, so that's possible. But I'm not aware of any that I can announce
Right.
on this podcast.
Right. Yeah, I don't know of any others. I just wasn't sure if, because, I thought 4th of July was on Sunday this year, so I just want to make sure that I wasn't missing anything else.
No, it's on Monday. And if you want to know anything about it, you can go to brazosnightswaco.com
Okay, brazosnightswaco.com. I like
and
it.
click on the 4 for Brazos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And how much busier is how busy our team is, but how much busier is your team on nights like this?
They're very busy. I mean, you get a lot of calls for fireworks, and so we respond to those. So our run volume goes up tremendously during the 4th of July.
Right. And is it just for firework calls, or what are the other kind of calls
you're
that
talking about
heighten?
you're talking about the temperature. You're talking about heat stress, heat related incidents, and probably 75% of our calls are EMS calls. So when we have situations where the temperatures rise like we're experiencing now, we get a lot of calls for heat related incidents.
Okay. So what can people do to maybe, stop themselves from having heat stroke or heat related illness, something like that?
If you feel yourself being nauseated, dizzy, please just relax. Just sit down somewhere, and you want to stay hydrated. You definitely want to stay hydrated.
Right.
So you got your heat-related injuries as relates to heat stress, then your heat stroke, where it might be a little bit more serious. So you need to get yourself checked out to make sure that you're not going to have it, because that could be deadly. Having a heat stroke could be deadly.
Right, absolutely. And you have to be okay for the Commodores.
You have to be.
I'm
Yeah.
so
You gotta-
excited.
And when I'm talking about hydration, I'm talking about H2O.
Yes. Yes, we understand that maybe, soda might have some type of water in it, or maybe even, people have those energy drinks
Right.
or the sports, like Gatorade and something like that. With the electrolytes is good, but water is usually the way
Water's
to go.
the best. Water's the best.
I was working park patrol yesterday, and someone had a handle of alcohol, and so that they were carrying it to stay hydrated. I was like, wait a second, you're drinking that bottle of liquor to stay hydrated. Like, you realize that's dehydrating you, right? Like, they may use water in the process of making it, but 100% the alcohol in that is going to dehydrate you. And they're like, no, I just need some more to drink. I'm like, no, you don't. You need to go with me.
Oh, my goodness. That is the opposite.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Well,
Just think of a
don't
water
do
boy.
that. Don't do that. Just drink water. All right? Maybe a Gatorade every now and then, but mostly water.
Just be careful with the sugar in that, because to an extent,
true.
it'll help you with the electrolytes, but then if you have other things going on, the sugar's probably not going to be too good for you. So just water, like Chief said.
Water.
Very good,
So,
very good.
Chief, you said something interesting. Did you say that you and your units have to respond to these fireworks calls as well?
Yes.
So essentially, we're showing up looking for them to write a ticket. You're showing up looking for them to put out a potential fire, and that's tying up one of your engines or one of your units that could potentially be needed at one of these medical calls, it sounds like.
Absolutely. And that's just the selfishness in us, that we would take advantage of an opportunity like that when we can go to a commercialized display. And I realize that everybody can't get to McLean Stadium. I get that. But we still need to be thinking about if we're out on a firework call and then we've got somebody within our first response area that needs a medical that has a medical emergency. That's taken away from that because we want to get there within 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So if that unit is somewhere else, then another unit has to respond. Well, guess what? That 4 minute now turns into 8 minutes. So we really need to be careful and think about what impact we might have on someone else.
Right.
Because we're here to help people, and we can't do it if we're out addressing the legal use of fireworks in the city of Waco.
And I think this is a good time to bring up, too, that if you are going to call in someone shooting off fireworks or something like that, please call our non-emergency number.
Yes.
That's going to be 254-750-7500. Do not call 911. We understand that you want the fireworks to stop, but it is not an emergency call unless a fire's happening, right? And so please leave that 911 line open for those people who need 911.
Absolutely.
Because even our dispatchers up there, they're hiring right now, but they're just as short-staffed as the rest of the world. And so make sure we just keep that 911 line open for emergencies. And again, if you want to call in those firework calls, that's going to be our non-emergency number, and it's 254-750-7500.
And I feel like this is a good opportunity to say that if it's an emergency, don't use Crime Stoppers. And also, if you're wanting to get a police response, Crime Stoppers will most likely not be able to get someone out there for fireworks. And as I mentioned, I'll be at the 4th of July. So if I check my phone and see a tip, I can try to let dispatch know, but there's a good chance it's not going to get your issues resolved on the 4th of July in that manner.
Right. Yeah, so your best. Yeah, so don't send in a tip about fireworks.
Yes.
Might not be when it's happening. Just
absolutely.
go ahead and call that non-emergency number.
But, if you do have something that's tip-worthy, $2,000 for anything leads to an arrest.
There you go. Perfect.
$1,000 if it's for a gun.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a lot of gas.
That is.
It is a lot of gas.
It's like almost a whole tank.
Oh, geez. Maybe 2 tanks.
Yeah.
Well, before we wrap it up here, Chief Summers, what else do you have for us? I know you have a lot of notes there. I just want to make sure we covered all your points. That
We did, but once again, the county has already enacted a ban on skyrockets. So you can't sell or manufacture them or shoot them within the unincorporated areas of the county. That includes, of course, it includes City of Waco as
right.
well. And I just want to say, I really do appreciate the relationship that we have with Waco PD.
Absolutely.
I think we do a tremendous job of working together, and I think we're on the same page, so I really appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity to come talk about fireworks safety.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad we've got that relationship, too. It's fun to have you guys to joke around with when we're done with the serious matter on scene. And
I thought about bringing donuts today, but I just.
So I saw a very funny video on Facebook the other day.
I think
it was
go ahead.
It was like a police and fire meeting. It was a big group of police and fire. And one of these firefighters sits down. He's like, I think you guys, we're in the cops section. There's a box of donuts on the table.
No.
And then one of the cops quipped back. He's like, no, that's not ours because they'd have been gone by now.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, that's funny.
That's funny, man.
That's good. I think, firefighters, they need some kind of food to we get donuts. What do you guys have?
Donuts.
They have whatever delicious food they want to sit down
true.
and take
They
the time
just
to
cook
make.
whatever they need.
Or your station downtown, or not downtown, on Elm.
Right.
Station 1, I think.
Yes.
They are always over at the East Side Revival. And every time I get the opportunity to go there, I'm like, there's another group of firefighters. And jealous because they're getting to sit here and eat good food all the time.
Well,
yes.
we don't get the discount, like the police officers do.
Oh,
There's only some places that do that.
I would go into places and I place my order, and then the server would say, or the cashier would turn around and say, "Does the fire department get a discount?"
Oh.
You hear somebody from the back say, "No, just the police."
Well, you gotta cut them some slack a little bit every now and then, right? I just say you deserve a discount.
I was
You're
about
first
to say,
responders.
well, who are they going to call when there's a grease fire?
Go call the police.
Somebody poured water on it.
Discount. I'm gonna say, hey, call the police when it catches on fire.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
exactly.
No.
And I'm going to show up and be like, shouldn't have poured water on that.
Oh,
Should have called the fire department.
oh goodness.
But we do. I really do. I love the relationship with Chief Victoria. We go back and forth with each other, but I really do. I love that relationship.
Yeah. Well, I think it's good to have that relationship because on weekends like the 4th of July weekend, it's so important to, like I said, work together and make sure that people in the city are safe. And if there is going to be a problem, we're going to be right there when they need us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Chief, thank you very, very much. If you've got nothing else, I think we can wrap it up here. Just another quick note, fireworks, illegal, lots of money and fines. And go to 4th on the Brazos.
And listen to the Commodores. Yeah.
I'm excited. The Commodores. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us here on Waco PD on the Beat. I'm Sierra Shipley, your public information officer.
And I'm Officer A.J. Smith, the Crime Stoppers Coordinator for McLennan County.
Have a good one, Waco.
Until next time.
Waco PD on the Beat. The heartbeat serving